Shalom. Allah start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone salutations to those elect is pushing the truth. Across four comes earth, all faith, truth, and sincerity. All right, I'm a one about back when they're sitting. I just want to go into just about how this is the end of the so-called white man Esau Edomite rulership, and this is we in those days and times. This is the end for the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, which are the Israelites. Our time of captivity, and being in this being in this hell, being this hell, being in this hell, America, being in this captivity, which, like I say, so-called Negro, Latino, natives, Israelites think they have freedom. You got the illusion of freedom, but you're not really truly free. If you still gotta pay taxes, you still gotta, pay for this, pay for that, and you don't have your own, land. You can't, you gotta pay property tax, and so forth, right? You're not free. You still paying servitude. You still, being servitude. You paying, to who? Where's the taxes going? You know what I'm saying? Where the payments for the taxes going to? Who's go to? Go to the government, the so-called white people, Edomites. It ain't going back to your neighborhood, community, whatever, to make it better or whatever it may be, right? It goes right back to them. The money goes right back to them. So that's why I say, so-called Negro, Latino, natives, Israelites have the illusion of freedom. You're not truly free. You're not gonna be truly free until the so-called white man Esau Edomites are out of the power seat, because they in rulership. They got the military might. They got the the currency, the world currency for in this point in time, but that's what it is. You so-called Negro Latinos ain't free, man. But we at the end of the rulership, or the so-called white man Esau Edomites rulership, and once the Lord Yahushua returns and take down the so-called white man Esau Edomites, get them out, get them out the way, then you truly will be free, and only the elect in these times, and when the Lord Yahushua returns, are gonna be delivered, but most of 2/3 Israelites that is not of that number gonna be destroyed. Hopefully I'm probably righteous number, but only the elect is gonna make it in these times and be delivered from the wrath and judgment of Lord Yahushua. They gonna bring down upon America, Babylon the Great. But we'll start with Ecclesiastes 7-8. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud of spirit. So, so better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. So, better is the end of this rulership of the so-called white man Esau Edomites world. Hey, we're at the end of this thing. But when something coming to an end, it's gonna be dramatic, right? It's gonna be, got to deal with us, some rough times. That's the times, and now going forward, right? The times of Jacob's trouble, all hell eventually gonna break loose out here. People gonna start losing their minds, which got people out here somewhat losing their minds now. It's getting to that point. People just, you'll get fed up, right? Can't pay for the things. Everything is like, the price of things rising up more and more. It seems like it's not gonna slow down. We see how next month gonna go with what Trump gonna do with the tariffs, but if he raise, it goes forward, and things keep rising up in prices, things keep going up, man. Hey, expect a lot more people to, just go crazy out here, man. Because we in those times, and people just ain't gonna be like, do what they gotta do to survive, by any means, right? But like I say, we in those times, better is the end of this so-called white man Edomite kingdom, than the beginning of it. Because the beginning of, of it was, rough, had to deal with slavery, getting beat down and working in, ancestors, slaves, being slaves in the cotton fields and picking cotton and so forth, and getting beat down and and killed, and getting your hands chopped off and this and that if you ain't picking enough cotton or whatever it may be, and you meet quota, And like I say, still in slavery. It's modern day slavery, but it's not like as the beginning of it. It's not as that rough. In the beginning, but we're at the end of it. So, hey, better is the end of it. But so I'm gonna go to and the patient spirit is better than the proud spirit. So the patient. The patient is the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Like the patient ones that patient waiting on the Lord Yahweh Shai to bring the so-called white man Esau and Mike's kingdom down. Patiently waiting. For everything just the prophecies come to pass. Everything just these damn devil Edomites. Get get removed out of the power seat. Because you got proud people out here, that they out here being sellouts. We got Israelite sellouts. They selling out and being proudful. People out here proud. They don't even acknowledge the Lord in these times or don't even care. All right, but only the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino natives, have a patient spirit and believe in Lord Yahweh Shai and go continue believing Lord Yahweh Shai till he returns, until you take down the so-called white man Esau Edomites out of powership, out of rulership, out of the power seat, But go from there to go to the next chapter. It's on 2 Ezra 6 and 7. Then I answered, and I said, what shall be the part of sundry times? And what shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? 2 Ezra 6 and 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac. So like, read it again. 2 Ezra 6 and 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac. When Jacob and Esau were born to him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. So and that symbolized right there, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Jacob's name was later changed to Israel. But Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, coming out of Rebekah's womb, right? So that's symbolic to Jacob. Even though Esau came out first, Jacob held the heel of Esau, which symbolic, Jacob, he gonna bring down Esau, So the Lord Yahushua, when he returns, he gonna bring down the so-called white man Esau Edomites out of power. Gonna bring Esau out of rulership, Edomites out of rulership. Gonna bring them down with a hard fall, man, a great fall, man. It's gonna be a great destruction by the Lord Yahushua returns to bring down the so-called white man Esau Edomites down. Go bring them down hard, man. Cause the Edomites proud, man. They think they ain't gonna get out. They gonna think they, like I said, Trump trying to make America great again, and these devils think they're gonna keep on being on top. The elites, the bankers. No, that's not the case. They feeling their time. They got a feeling. They know their time is running out. They ain't got much time. They know. Time is their time of rulership is coming to an end. But they proudful. You know what I'm saying? These devils proud, man. They gonna fight to the end. So the Lord Yahshua gonna bring them down hard, man. It's gonna be a great fall for the Edomites, man. It's gonna be a wonderful thing for it to happen to. Cause these devils just wicked, man. They greedy. They take. You know, they don't. So they don't give a damn. They destroying the earth with the water, and they mess up the water, the air, the food, contaminate everything. Damn near. Contaminating the minds of the people. Got the people out here. They minds are just ain't all, but most people out here, especially people here in America, minds are just gone. Like what I'm saying. People minds are just confused and out here wilding out, man. And Lord Abshai, I say he gonna turn, he gonna come back and burn and destroy all this shit and the people that ain't right. That's not of that number. That's not of the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites. But go to the next verse, 2 Ezra 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So Esau is the end of the world. So this is the end of a rulership. This is the end of an age. This is the end of this damn devil's rulership coming up. It's coming up. These days, you could feel, these days and times now, you could feel like, something major eventually is going to happen soon that is going to shake a lot of people up. It's going to be a drastic change, Whether that be the economic collapse, the dollar ain't shit, what I'm saying, the mandatory of the chip, being forced, mandated, the chip, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. You still got, these, whether it be these other Israelite camps or these Baptist church preachers, whoever it may be, right? They still scoff at it. They still like, it ain't gonna happen. But when it happens, it's gonna be too late. The apostles and the elders and brother great minister on the middle Lord that had the truth, been telling you and warning you when it happens, it's prophecy is gonna come to pass. The word of the Lord, the words Lord, the Lord word, the Lord word, it's gonna come to pass. The Lord, he's not a man that he shall lie. So it's gonna come to pass whether you scoffing at it and believing it, because the apostles of Elsberg great minister don't give you to understand the prophecy and breaking it down to you. You don't take it serious, and once it happens too late. You know what I'm saying? You didn't take it serious. Once it go down, your mouth gonna be, ain't gonna say shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all scoffers and those that don't believe, you unbelievers, y'all ain't gonna have shit to say once it goes down. Basically, I'm just saying it's gonna be just no words. You ain't gonna have shit to say because it's gonna be so real that you gonna be like, man, this is reality right now. This is actually happening right in my face. This is going down. Like, this ain't a movie. It's going down. That's what's ahead, man. It's gonna be like, I'm telling you, and I'm saying only the elect is gonna make it out of this, man. Your days out here is gonna be real. As the prophecies unfold, man, it's gonna take a lot of people by surprise, man. That is happening in real time. But Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So once the Lord Yahshua bring down the so-called white man Esau, the might out of power, the so-called Negro Latino natives, once the so-called white man Esau Edomites are, once the Lord Yahshua returns and bring down the so-called white man Esau Edomites out of power, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites, gonna be the next rulers. Starting with, let's say Lord Yahshua, King David, the house of David, the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites. It's gonna be, saying the governing body is gonna be, the next rulerships, and the 2/3 of Israelites that die on these, 2/3 Israelites that die on this side, in the destruction, in the wrath and destruction of Lord Yahushua, in the judgment that Lord Yahushua gonna bring down, they gonna come back in the kingdom as babies, right? And so, that's what's gonna be. That's how it's gonna come about. That's what's the future. After this rulership, after this is after the so-called white man, red man, Edomites are out of power and done with. But next verse. Okay, that's it on that. So we'll go to the next chapter. I ain't want to make this too long. It's Ecclesiastes 10:4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it when it is profitable. So like I said, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh. So Lord, the Lord controls who you put in power. Right now, the so-called white man, Esau, Edomites in power, but their time of rulership will come to an end. And in due time, he's going to set over one that's profitable. That's the Lord Yahushua, King David, the house of David, and the elect, right? The governing body, That's going to be the next rulerships, the next rulers, the Israelites. Okay. What's the next verse? Well, I'm going to kind of skip to, go from there to, I'm going to go to Ecclesiastes 10:8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So, yeah, because of unrighteous dealings, man. The so-called white man, Esau, Edomites, they did unrighteous things, man. They got their power by rape, rob, and murder. That's how they got their power, the rulership kingdom, by rape, rob, murder, stealing, killing, and taking the identity of the real chosen people, the Lord, the Israelites, Israel. We got them gutter rats in the land of Israel are not calling themselves the chosen people. They are not the chosen people. Them people of Israel are not the chosen people. The true Israelites, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites, they not gonna the true Israelites know it ain't gonna be of war, within the earth and confusion and trying to take somebody's land, goods, and this and that, just Israel, the true Israelites, is gonna be gonna be in power, gonna be of peace, and it's gonna be of peace, real peace, you know what I'm saying? And things gonna be in order how it should be, not what these so-called white people, Edomites, these gutter rats, man, these Khazars that's in the land of Israel. They constantly going to war and and bombing this and doing this and trying to steal this and get that and take this and trying to push their agenda on the other countries and nations. Man, that ain't a lot of like I said, a lot of these all the other nations and countries are getting tired of it. And like I said, and that's what's coming to an end of the so-called white man, Esau, Edomites. These nations are at a point where like I said, they got nuclear missiles. They're gonna fire on these Edomites, man, on these gutter rat Edomites that's in the land of Israel and in the rest of these Edomite countries, right? So it's gonna come to that, and mainly Babylon, and Babylon the Great, America, But like I say, the kingdom's gonna be translated because the so-called white man, Esau, Edomites, they did the Israelites dirty, the so-called Negro, Latino dirty, and so forth, right? Because of all the things they done in a time of rulership, they got it's gonna be translated. It's gonna be translated from the so-called white people, Edomites, to the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Israelites. So gonna go from the rulership from it's gonna be translator of power, transfer of power. It's gonna go from the Edomites, losing the power, to the Israelites, getting the power and being in rulership. But I'll go from there. Let's see, I don't want to make this too long. So I'm gonna end off with this. This Ecclesiastes 10:10. The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. So who's the physician? The Lord Yahushua. The Lord Yahushua is going to return and cut off this long disease, this cancer of the so-called white man, Esau Edomites, that's in power, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, got things out of control, you know, in chaos, confusion, you know what I'm saying? Just, like I said, messing up the water, air, the food, and so forth, man, you know. All the lies and deception that they putting out there still to this day, even though the truth is being pushed, even though the truth is prevailing, you devils trying to do all they can, keep on still putting out the lies and deception of the Bible, you know, still trying to keep the ones, you know, that believe in that bullshit in darkness, you know, still think that the Lord is a white man or whatever, you know, think that the Lord still loves everybody, all that bullshit. But that's not the case. You know, the truth is prevailing. The truth is being, you know, pushed out by the apostle Ellsberg or Millstone, and you know, this truth is exposing these devils and is getting to these Edomites, getting to the Edomites, and they can't stop it. They can't stop what the Lord Yahushua has, set up and planned for, you know, to go down, and these Edomites can't slow down this truth. Can't slow down the truth of Lord Yahushua. You know, they can't. So they still resort to their lies and deception and putting out these, putting out the confusion and trying to kill off, the people. Like I said, messing up the water, the air, the food, and so forth. But they only could go so far until Lord Yahushua returns and bring you devils out of power, man. Your time was up. Your time of bringing, your time of bringing hell upon this earth and upon the Israelites, and upon this upon this earth and upon the Israelites, is coming to an end, man. And good, it's good, man. But hey. We know the thing about something that comes to an end, it's gonna be dramatic. It's gonna be a lot of, I said in the beginning, a lot of rough times ahead, and a lot of deaths, and a lot of people out here dying. But like I said, only the elect is gonna make it out of it and be delivered. The judgment's got to go down. Those that didn't repent and didn't turn from their wicked ways, didn't repent to the Lord Yahushua, the Lord Yahushua, constantly still doing what they're doing, not giving a damn. Lord Yahushua bring a lot of death and destruction upon those that didn't repent and did not take the Lord Yahushua seriously. When it goes down, when it comes about. So, like I said, we in those times now, and going forward. So, like I say, Lord Yahushua, He gonna return and take down the so-called white man, Esau Edomites. Cause like I say, how things could change in one day. One day, 1 hour. Lord Yahushua is gonna bring this place down. The Edomites gonna be out of the rulership, out of the power seat, man. Gonna be no more pain, no more suffering, no more confusion, no more, oppression by these Edomites, man. Just gonna be at peace, man. Once Lord Yahushua bring these devils out of power, man, out of rulership, man. So with that, I didn't want to make it too long. So again, I'd like to give our praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushua, Bahasham Kakadash, to the apostles, elders, to the sisters and brothers, to the few Akwaf sisters that do listen, keep the faith, and Yahushua keep fighting. That say Shalom.